Welcome to Cape Trekking. Welcome back if that's been a four. Today we're just having a wee ponder around certain parts of Sheffield. Today we're going to go to Wards End Cemetery, Carbrook Hall, which is supposed to be one of the most haunted pubs in Sheffield. Yes, we're in Sheffield. We're stamped as passports. We're here, aren't we, bud?
We are.
So welcome to this special Samhain edition, or Halloween to you, or some of you, for 2024. Let's go and see what we can see. Going to Wards End Cemetery, but I'll just read it out for you. With nearly 30,000 burials, including soldiers from the nearby Hillsborough Barracks and victims of the Great Sheffield Flood of 1864. Wards End is an important part of Sheffield's social history, a haven for wildlife and a place for art and performance, really. It is also a place of remembrance with burials of those who served and died in the two great wars. Please treat the cemetery with respect. We always treat cemeteries with respect, don't we, buddy?
We do.
Let's get up and see what this cemetery is about. Well, spooky from start. You can see how it's all overgrown. Certainly a forgotten cemetery, this one. See all the gravestones just within the trees. We wanted to come here for a while, but never had the opportunity. I think this is where the old chapel used to stand. Nice bit of a war memorial there, I think. This is where the old chapel used to stand. I'll read a bit out for you. But this chapel, it was originally like a marquee. It was a mortuary chapel, so obviously this is where they brought the dead ready for burial. It was demolished because it fell into disrepair, as the graveyard suggests, or the cemetery, sorry. It's not a graveyard because it's not attached to a church, so it's a cemetery. It was built by Wakeman, Hatfield and Goldie, it says on this notice board. I am reading off this notice board, by the way, if you're wondering why I keep looking down. Ellison Hatfield designed the Cholera Monument at St Mary's Roman Catholic Church in Sheffield. And let's have a look. And Hatfield and Goldie was also designed the Wicker Arches in Sheffield. If anybody from Sheffield will know that that's quite a famous landmark in Sheffield. So let's go and have a look round this graveyard. Quite spooky, to be honest. Very derelict. Obviously no burials here anymore. It's quite old. Yeah. See how derelict this is. Or not derelict, no longer in use. That's a better way of saying it. So it's toppling over, look.
Yep, quite a sobering thing really when you think about it.
There's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of gravestones.
Got all forgotten.
Just piled on top of each other.
Those who think, you know, you've got to have this, you've got to have that, this is what it ends up with.
We all end up in the same, no matter what you've got in life. There's just hundreds of them. Just piled in. Goes right back. If you can see that on camera. There's hundreds and hundreds of gravestones. 'Cause-
1 year and 10 months.
You what, Phil?
1 year and 10 months.
1 more year and 10 months. Oh wow. That's a sobering thought, isn't it? Life's precious, guys. Life is so precious. And this is where we all end up, places like this. Well, that's if you're going to get bedded anyway.
Other forms are available.
Yeah. Being a pagan, I shan't be bedded.
Yeah.
But look at them, just rammed in together. No uniformity, just rammed in together. Forgotten graveyard in Sheffield.
I've just been saying, I've never seen a cemetery so rammed in. And half of it's not even on even ground.
It's not, it's on a hill.
It's
isn't
on
it?
a hill. And it's all like, well, we'll cram as many as we can in.
It's a strange place for a cemetery, to be fair,
It
I
really
think.
is. And it's, I don't know, it's just something very strange.
There used to be a massive estate just at the back of us. I think it was called Parkwood Springs. It was a huge housing estate, and it became a bit derelict and a bit run down. And when they had the act of cleaning a lot of, I'm not going to be disrespectful when I say this, slum areas, they knocked them all down. Instead of building a new estate, they just left it derelict. And then I think the Sheffield Ski Village bought it, and they built a ski village which didn't last that long really. That had a few fires, didn't it? That's derelict now. And then I think another a company from abroad bought the land, wanted to do something with it. That never materialised. Look at them, just all round. You can see how derelict this place is. Forgotten cemetery. I bet this place can tell a few stories. And I certainly wouldn't want to be here on a night time. I bet this is quite spooky, to be honest. I don't know if there's any famous Sheffielders buried in here. But I should imagine there's one or two. It's just all within the trees. Nature has recalled it. Mother Nature has recalled this land. Keeping the dead safe, if you get me drift. If you believe in that, which I do. I'm a theorist that when you die, your spirit moves on. It doesn't fizzle, it doesn't disappear. Your spirit moves on. Well, what's the point in living if there's nothing after? It's my theory. Del Autumn's here. Golden brown, texture like sun. Raise me down with my, whatever that next word is. Can never remember that song, to be honest. It's a nice one. Robert Holmes. 43 years. Wow. It's no age. Frederick Truman. Age 1 year, 2 months. Oh dear.
The only other weird sensation I've ever had is that when we're on walking from Hessel to
Oh, what was that place called?
Filey.
Filey, yeah.
We went
Filey
past
Brig.
that thing, that
We did
we just come out
the
of
Yorkshire
that
Wolds Way.
burst of sunshine down to church.
That was weird.
That felt really
That was
weird.
strange. It was like a. Has anyone's ever done Yorkshire Wolds Way? I think it was day 3.
Yeah.
Day 3. It was a 5-day walk where it was
Yeah.
90
90
something miles. We did it in 5 days. A couple of years ago. I've not got it up. We wasn't doing this channel then, so I didn't film it. It was for this Facebook page. I think they're still on there.
Yeah, should be.
They're only like short videos of each day or bits and bobs what we did. But we came across this village, Houghton Massey or something like that. There's an old deserted village. I think it was a medieval village,
yeah.
but they've got the church still standing. Well, the remains of it. And as we come across this field and then we come down to a gate, we could see it in the bottom, couldn't we?
Yeah.
There was no sunlight apart from one haze of sunlight that come through.
Yeah, like beams.
I don't believe in divine intervention. I don't believe in God, obviously, being a pagan and that. But not Christian God anyway.
Mm.
But this one shade of light just came through the clouds and it was directly onto the church, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That was a strange thing I can't explain. Maybe some people might have their own beliefs on that one, and you might think, ooh, there you go. But no. I think it was just a coincidence that it's where the clouds were brought, but it was just weird.
It just felt weird. It wasn't just the sunlight. There was something about the place that made me feel strange.
But we felt relaxed.
Yeah.
We actually.
It wasn't a fearful thing. It was just.
No, it was a strange feeling.
Like,
but I think that's because we knew it was dead of late. It was an old medieval village that was deserted, obviously. I don't know, was it the plague? I'm not quite sure. If anybody knows anything about that place, I think it was called Houghton Massey. I'm sure it was called that, or something like that. On the Yorkshire Wolds Way. Now, I don't know what we've come out onto here.
No, I don't.
But I think we'll go up that path, left-hand path, mate. It was very strange indeed. Now, last year we did a Samhain special. We did 5 local Stocksbridge ghost stories. So if you've not checked that video out, please go back onto the previous videos, check it out. It was quite a good video, to be fair. Not they're all good, aren't they? But it was quite a decent video. And we really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed doing it. The atmosphere and everything. It was a misty, rainy day. Like it's a 5 local Stocksbridge ghost stories. So if you want to see that, go back and check last year's Samhain video at Halloween. And also give us a thumbs up and a like and subscribe, please. That would be much appreciated. It helps this channel out and it helps this channel to build. I've surpassed what I wanted this year. Not got many subscribers. More would be appreciated. I wanted 200 subscribers for this year. We've got 215, so I've already surpassed it, and it's only October. I'd like to get more. That would be much appreciated. But just give us a thumbs up, like, please subscribe. Let's get back onto this video. Just everywhere, aren't they? Just rammed in. So Charles Shaw. You can just see the neglect. I mean, look at this one. A massive tree. Thomas Eccleston. And that winds me up. Take your rubbish on with you, please. It's not hard and it's not much to ask. So we're back at the start. It's quite a big one. The sun's coming out, so we've also picked another good day, Phil. But Ward's End Cemetery, forgotten cemetery here in Sheffield. Now we're going to move on to his next location. Supposed to be one of the most haunted pubs in Sheffield. So catch you when we get there. See you in a bit, guys. Right guys, so at the second location, this is Carbrook Hall in the district of Carbrook of Sheffield. This wouldn't have come under Sheffield at that point, this would have been its own district. It was originally built in 1176 by the Blunt family. It was later rebuilt in 1462 by the Bright family. During the English Civil War, this was an headquarters for the Roundheads. They had their base here when there was sieging the Sheffield Castle, which obviously no longer stands, but I think the remains and the ruins of, they've just redone a dig up on there. Just an excavation in Sheffield. Yeah. Let's have a wander around and let's see what else we can find out about this place. It's been rebuilt and quite a few times over the time period. You can see looking at the windows, obviously there, but bricked up at the top. But it's now a Starbucks, like a lot of places. You can see just by looking at it. I'll flip the camera around in a minute so it's not on me. But this obviously was a hall. The Lord of the Manor of Ecclesall. Right, Phil's going to explain a bit more about its later life.
Yeah, in 1819, Sheffield Minister wrote that the Carbrook Hall had been deserted by its owners for over a century, but still held some of its character.
Certainly has.
Yeah, even now you can see the, you know, the age of the building.
Yeah. We'll have a walk around. There's a blue plaque on the wall. We'll see what that says. There you go. The information that I said earlier. The Sheffield History Trails. I think it starts in city centre, but you can read that, but I'll read it out for you anyway. Carbrook Hall on Attercliffe Common. Carbrook Hall was once a much larger house. This wing was being added in 1620. Here lived Colonel John Bright, famed for his part in the taking of Sheffield Castle by Parliament in the Civil War. So you can definitely see the age of it. Now Phil has got a story about, don't take this the wrong way guys, the toilets in this place.
Yeah, there's quite a few stories of people going in the toilets and feeling very, very uncomfortable, and not because they were in the toilets. And stories of ghosts, and yes, so there's a lot of supernatural history as well.
I can imagine with a building being this old. I mean, the sun's really bright today. As you can see, it's now a Starbucks. We can still see the character of this wing, the old building with the old doorway. You can see, and the windows are very old. They've kept the character of the place. It's a grade 2 listed now, so obviously they can only do certain things. I think they've still got to keep the genuine character of the place, haven't they? But yeah, they can do renovations. I've noticed they put a little wing on, a modern wing at the far side, which we'll walk around and you can see it in a minute. I don't know if we're going to go in and have a coffee. We might actually go to the toilets and see if we can find any spooky happenings. But, yeah, I mean, you can see the old stone lintel at the top. Across the hill. They used to do quite a lot in them days. It's a nice building though. You see the old chimney stack there, love. But yeah, this is the extension. Obviously it's the drive-through now, but this is the extension that they've put on. You tell me, let's get out of this sun, but you tell me, what have we lost in building things? When you look at that building at the back of it, original cardboard core, well the wing anyway, and then you get that modern style building banged on side of it. It has got a lot of character still, I've got to say. And this was only a wing of it, so it must have been a lot larger building, it said. It's really nice, don't get me wrong. Let's cross over here. You can see the 17th century influence with the windows. Definitely.
So yeah, not a place to go to the toilet there, because we have reports of doors being rattled while you're in and nobody being there, and the temperature suddenly dropping and other ghostly things.
Yeah, I've heard reports about people being sat on the toilet and it's like somebody's trying to get in your toilet door, rattling and things. How true it is, I don't know. Didn't this used to be a pub?
Yes.
Used to be a pub, didn't it?
Yes.
Before this brand of coffee. There is others available. I'll get done for copyright. Yeah, Carbrook. We're going to try and find another cemetery, a bigger one, with some famous people in there. Stay tuned, guys. Right, before we leave this area to go to this next place, it's an interesting story. This is called the Noose and Gibbet pub. Really interesting place this. Phil's going to explain this to you more than me, so I'm just going to pass the camera to Phil.
So yes, in 1827ish, that era, the tale goes that a famous highwayman was left in a cage hanging from somewhere near here for 35 years until his body was eventually taken down. And if you can see behind, there is a replica of the cage.
Yeah, so the highwayman's name was Spence Broughton. He was left to hang on Ecclesall Common, was it? Attercliffe Common. 27 years. 27 years! Let that pond a bit. His final destination from York, the gallows in Sheffield Gibbet, which obviously was on Attercliffe Common. Well, I'll just read a little bit of information it says on this board, actually on the pub side. I'll read you a bit, I'm not going to focus on it too much. There was a gentleman farmer from Lincoln. Just let me get out of the sun. Right. Spence Broughton was his name. He was a gentleman farmer from Lincoln. He married well and received a handsome dowry, but through his love of gambling at the cockfights, he was squandered all. To recoup his losses, he turned to crime and became a member of the Hatters Club, a local band of Attercliffe villains. But his life of crime was short-lived. He was hung in the year of our Lord 1792 for the robbery of the Sheffield Mail on Attercliffe Common. He was hung and gibbeted close to this spot where his remains were left to overview for over 27 years. Wow. bet this place is haunted then, definitely. And its direct to others would be thieves and brigands. That's the name I not heard for a long time. He was the last man to be so treated in Yorkshire. You will find inside this fine and hospitality establishment artifacts and writings relating to this period in time. Some are fact and some are fable, as you expect. History's always distorted into it. Yeah. As my good partner would say, some are fact, some are fable, and some outright blarney. That is brilliant. I love that. That is absolutely beautiful. The noose and gibbet, and as Phil's already pointed out, and you can see that. Still there, look. So I just thought, before we left this area, to point this place out. It's just across from the Sheffield Arena. A very busy road. But the noose and gibbet, it's closed at the moment, so we can't go in. I'd like to see some of these artifacts and blarneys. Yeah. History's always distorted. You have to read between the lines of what's fact and what's fiction. Because we all know that, don't we? Don't believe everything you read, and certainly don't believe everything you read on social media. Especially Facebook. If it's on Facebook, it must be real.
It must be.
So let's go find this other cemetery. And let's go and have a look at some famous people's mausoleums and graves. So our final destination for today is the Sheffield General Cemetery, not to be mistaken by the City Road Cemetery. It was opened in 1836 as a cemetery, and its last burial was in 1978, so it's been a while since somebody's been buried in this place. It's a Grade 2 listed cemetery. Didn't know cemeteries were listed, but Grade 2 listed cemetery on the National Register of Parks and Gardens. So let's go and have a look, see what famous graves we can see. Apparently there's some really famous graves of famous Sheffield people. Doesn't mean a lot to a lot of people, but might to some. The old church here, as you can see, all boarded up. It's now deconsecrated. Big steeple there. Quite a nice building, but no longer in service. You can see these gravestones are a lot bigger. Now I wonder if this is an architect. Just noticed this says Adams on it. There was a famous architect called Adams, weren't there? That built quite a lot of Sheffield buildings. I wonder if this could be the grave, or the family grave of the Adams family. Adams family. Doodle-doo. Sorry, it just popped in my head. Yeah, but Adams. Henry Adams. If anybody knows where Henry Adams was the famous architect? Drop me a comment, please. Hobson, Hodgkin. I mean, there's some really beautiful memorials. This is quite massive, this one. Different to where we went earlier.
Yeah.
The sun's really glary. There's the only problem with winter sun. Which way do you want to go, Phil? Do you want to walk round or down?
Oh, we'll go down.
We'll go down, right. Catch you in a minute. See what else we can see. More like a park these days, this place, but every now and again you get a couple of scattered gravestones. Elizabeth Worsley. And then a couple up against the wall there, look. But it's not a bad park, to be honest. Quite a lot up against the wall. So I should imagine at one time of day there's quite a few burials in this place.
Yeah.
As you can see, there's some more scattered up against the wall. Unless they've just been placed there. Don't know what that's meant to be. There-ho. Yeah. Just scattered everywhere. I don't think these are actually bedded. This is not in any U form whatsoever. There's one here, what's this one? Ducking field. That's quite nice. We'll see if any Higgs or Brailsfords are in here then. Mackenzie. That's a nice one. Macmillan. Yeah, it's very strange. I don't know if these are actually bedded here or these have just been put here. Because they're just scattered everywhere, aren't they?
Yeah. It says on that top bit, doesn't it, that thing, that it was it says that it was a landscaped burial place, so maybe they are. It's just that they've been put in, you know, not where you'd expect.
Just randomly.
Randomly, yeah. So, I don't know. Unusual. But, yeah. Kind of quaint, in a way.
It is quaint, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's quite a few more further down.
Yeah.
Well, we shall see.
Let's all see.
As you walk around this cemetery, you find these boards. It's called Burial Stories of different people that's buried in here. It's really interesting, to be honest. So if you ever do come here, I'd suggest you read these boards. I'm not going to read them all out because that's a lot of literature. And they're all over the place, but that is a lovely one. Look at that, how gorgeous is that? That's really nice. We're coming into a few more graves now. I love how nature's taking over, it's taking them back. I was saying, another one here, look. George Myers. Some really interesting ones. And yet another one. Coming up to the bigger gravestones now. Or memorials. Yet another one. Alfred Romain Calendar. William Stovin. They must all be local people. Famous local people, I should have thought. This is really lovely, this. You don't get the same sense of atmosphere though, as you did at the other one, because obviously the other one was forgotten and...
Yeah, and they were all piled in on each other, whereas these are spread out.
Definitely. Herbert Charles, William D. Forsythe. I mean, there's some money's worth here. Forsythe, so that's obviously a family plot. You've got some absolutely amazing ones in here, some really big, huge. And then obviously some smaller ones laid down now. Probably laid down from the start, to be fair, but wonderful. Charles Thompson, that one. Obviously a family plot as well. Henry Wharton Shaw, Percy Rawson. So I suggest you read these if you come here. And there's just another one here. George D. Bell, Alfred Speake, William Ragg. Buried stories, seafarers. Wonderful. Now that's what it's all about, innit? Two old fellas having a chinwag in a cemetery in Sheffield on a Saturday afternoon. You can't beat it. Phil's just pointed out this one. 8 months, 9 years, 9 weeks, 5 years, 7 years. Like I said earlier, guys, life's precious, so make the most of it. You never know how long you're going to be here. We're coming up to the bigger ones now. Some real big ones coming up here. John Watson. Who's this one? Alfred Crooks. This one's a big one. Can't read the name on it, but Henry Herbert Andrew, Mark Firth, Henry Jessup. Now, them names, I do know. This is a real big one. Let me just zoom out a minute. There you go. That's the Firth, Mark Firth. I wonder if that's anything to do with the hospital. Or Firth Vickers.
Yeah.
Yeah, Firth Vickers. Was that a steelworks?
Yeah.
Possibly. And then you've got another big one here. Railing. I'm sorry about the sun glares, guys. James Nicholson. What's this one, sir? So this is a Nicholson's family plot. I'm sorry about the sun. I'm trying to get out of sun for you. That's better. That's beautiful. Some money's worth there, kiddo.
Yep.
Obviously railing as well. Nicholson's. Anybody know any famous family of Nicholson's in Sheffield? Was Nicholson's another steel firm, cutlery? As if you know, Sheffield is famous for cutlery. Stainless steel was invented in this city of Sheffield. Yeah, very much so. Another one. George Bassett, Henry Reckless. I know George Bassett, I've heard of that name before. Bassett Sweets. Yeah. So obviously his grave will be in here somewhere. Let's go up to this big mausoleum and see what this one's about, bud. Now that one is impressive. Wow. That is huge. Now, I don't know if that's for the Pacific family or... Well, I don't really know. There's no name of a family on it. If anybody knows what this building was, or is, drop me a comment, please. Now, this one is absolutely amazing. Look at that. This is to a merchant. I'll zoom in for you. It might be easier for you to read it that way. So let me come out a little bit. But I think that's amazing. It really is. And then across the top it says, "The Lord bless us." But that is wonderful. Some really lovely ones in here. Let's see what else we can see. See if we can find any famous people. This one's to a George Bennett Esquire. That is truly impressive. Must have been an explorer or something. I'm just looking at that. I've not heard of him. Well, I have heard of George Bennett, but I don't know if it's the same guy. But I wonder if that's an explorer. Just looking at the carving, which is seriously weathered. And looking at his clothing. That's
palm trees.
18th century?
So.
Yeah. We'll have a walk this way. There's some big ones over here, so we'll have a look. Some nice ones. Can't even read that one. You always find a Jones. Oh, these are crammed in together a bit. Batty Langley, Thomas Brooke. Well, for any of these names, oh, wow! Egg. Finally found one. I said egg. Sorry, that was my ex-wife's name. Finally got one. When near eyes of Brailsford.
Yeah, there's one in Bolton. There's a couple in Bolton. Yeah.
Gill. That's the name. Nathaniel Phillips. Right. In faithful up of the body of Nathaniel Phillips, DD. Don't know what DD stands for. A man of learning, eloquence, and piety, ever zealous to maintain the cause of civil and religious liberty. He was one of the last survivors of the old Presbyterian ministry of a former generation. I can't read the rest because it's faded out, but yeah. So what DD stands for? Anybody knows? Drop us a comment. So now we're talking. Looks like there's some huge ones down here. It's a nice wee doorway. It's about right height for me. Wow. That's the Can family. Don't know if that's any significance to anybody. There's a few big ones here. This is one of that's the main entrance actually. So I'm going to go down to the main entrance in a minute. I'm sorry about the lighting. It's not the best. Right. Earl Grey.
He made tea there.
I think he made tea at Earl Grey, Minister of the United Methodist Free Church, grandson of the above Samuel Mills, born March the 3rd, 1850, died November the 1st, 1903, so that's coming up. Earl Grey, I wonder if that is actually the Earl Grey. You know the guy that made tea? Sharman.
Jewish.
Could be. Abraham Sharman. That sounds Jewish to me.
That's what I'm saying.
That sounds Jewish. Abraham Sharman, that's Jewish.
Yeah.
Mind it, it's not it's open to all religions, isn't it? Yeah, let's go down into the main gates and let's have a look. So, main entrance to the cemetery stroke park. That's quite nice, to be fair. But then as you turn around, you've got some modern buildings and straight to an housing estate. Obviously these weren't here when this was built, I should have thought. That's not a bad entrance, I think, to this very posh, expensive cemetery. I think you've got to be quite a bit of money to be buried in here. Like I said, 1978 was the last person to be buried. I'm not quite sure who that was. I should put it on the screen now if I find any information of that person.
Yeah.
Who was the last person to be buried. That's quite impressive. So, the big mausoleum, big building further up that I asked you if anybody knew what it could be. It was massive. Samuel Worth Chapel. I've heard of Samuel Worth. I'm not sure who he was or what he did. I presume it was something to do with the industry of Sheffield. I think. I think. If anybody does know any information about Samuel Worth and who he were, drop me a comment please in the comments below. I'm sure somebody will know who Samuel Worth was without me googling it. I'd rather you guys tell me, to be fair. Right. Let's see if we can find any other famous people.
Or a Ratcliffe.
Ratcliffe?
Nuns made in.
The catacombs.
Yes.
Ah, they're here. Fortunately, I saw it on a video. Somebody doing a video of this place. That's why I thought about this place. The catacombs. But unfortunately, we can't get down to them because the path's closed. Looks like they're doing some work. And a guy is actually down there doing something at the bottom. As you can see, I don't know if you can see round about here below us, there's the catacombs. Just lift the camera up a bit. You can see that's the platform. You used to be able to get on this path, but it's closed unfortunately at the moment. Unsafe. You can see there's some people working down at the bottom. 1845 to 1852, 1834 to 1836 was the new cemetery, and it just shows you an artist's impression of what the catacombs were like. We were able to walk on it at the bottom, but unfortunately we can't do that today. There's always something stopping us, isn't there?
Yes.
So that's where the catacombs are. If you're liking this video, please like and subscribe to our channel. Like I say, it really helps us out. Phil's just noticed this one of a George Myers, Royal Artillery, died the 3rd of March 1889. He fought at Sebastopol and Inkerman in the Crimean War. That's quite an interesting one. And you can see the badge of the Royal Artillery there. Right. Rest your soul, George Myers. Here we are, now we're talking. Now we're talking. This is a very famous guy, if anybody ever remembers. Cole Brothers. This is John Cole. This is his memorial. Of Pickering he was, originally. Died at age 80 in 1913. Cole Brothers was a very famous shop in Sheffield. I think it was opposite City Hall, and weren't they taken over by, what was the company called? Not House of Fraser. What was it called? Can't quite remember now. It was taken over by another big shop. I'll let you know in a minute if I can remember it. But yeah, John Cole of Cole Brothers. There you go. Quite impressive, as you expect. Phil's just told me, John Lewis, I believe. How impressive is that? That was absolutely gorgeous. Got Ewell, Nicholson, Herbert Andrew. I'm sure all these people have got some history behind them. Everyone's got history behind them, haven't they? Bernard Smith, Roberts.
Even the ones we had to plateau thing that have just, you know, probably been buried in a pauper's grave or something. There's all history there.
I don't think there's many paupers' graves in this place though. No. Not by looking at the gravestones and stuff. Another Sharman. John Sharman. That's quite impressive. So absolutely wonderful, wonderful. Another famous person coming up. We've already done that first, haven't we? Oh, back to the beginning, back to more or less. That place I was talking about.
Yeah.
Huge. You wanna walk up that way, Phil? No, because we came down here.
Yeah.
Walk up here. With some absolutely amazing ones. See if we can see anybody else further up. Right, so we're at the very end of this cemetery. Phil? Wow. Brailsford. Brailsford. William Brailsford.
Fuck me!
Oi. Sorry for his bad language.
I forgot you were filming.
We don't swear on this channel, as you know. So I do apologise for Phil's bad language. I'll give him a slap later, I'm only joking. But yeah, we've seen a Hague and we've seen a Brailsford in the same one.
Yeah.
That is amazing. Oh, Broom Hill. I just saw it at the very end. You can't go any further, these trees here at the end. We finally found one. So we found a Hague and we found a Brailsford. You can apologise for your bad language.
Yeah, sorry. It's just that, yeah. Not seeing one.
Naughty boy.
Naughty, terrible.
I mean, I swear all the time, but I try not to swear on this channel.
Yeah, I try not to. That's the first time I've slipped.
Disappointed. We'll get over it.
Oh.
So, just about at the end. Back to the gates. Different gates we came in on, but we'll just walk down, back down to the chapel, I think, or we're going out of here. We're out of here, right, so we'll leave the video here then. So on this special Samhain stroke Halloween.
So we've had people that are blackmailers and highwaymen and yes, lots of unscrupulous people.
And some famous ones.
Yes.
Some famous ones that made this city of Sheffield famous. Firth,
yeah.
the Firth Vickers, one of the biggest steel manufacturers in the city, I believe. We've got John Cole, who had one of the biggest department stores in Sheffield, and I don't know if they spread worldwide, I'm not so sure. Or was it just local? Couldn't tell you. Anybody knows, drop us a comment. We've had, like I said, we've had highwaymen, we've had thieves, we've had, probably had a lot of other things to be honest.
Goals.
Yeah, few ghostly stories about toilets. But that's how we roll. Roll. Do you get it? Roll. Yeah, alright. So, we'll leave the video here like we said.
Humour.
Yeah, toilet humour. Bit of a boggy situation. So, thank you very much for watching.
Fill out.
J-Art.
Keep trekking.
Trek on. Till next time. See you again. Ta-da. We get worse, man. We get worse. Ta-da, guys. Catch you next one.